This video is going to cover how to import data from a CSV file, then output that nested data to a Giben saw. So our first step is just to import so we can get the saw set up. Currently we're operating in the CNC section, so we're just going to open up the CSV file. I will later explain where this is and how to do this in a little bit more detail. But I'm going to select the comma separated file and select the test CSV file. I have one part that does not fit. I'll explain that in a bit. So now we have parts that are laid out. We do need to change. I'm going to come down and change this from CNC to saw. I'm going to go ahead and click Renest. We are now getting these lines, which are cut lines for the saw. But to confirm that this processor and this is all set up correctly, we're going to go to Tools, Settings, click Setup Post Processor. From our drop-down list, we're going to select the Giben saw drill. The script files that we're going to be using or needing is this Giben FTD saw drill that is found in the list. If it is not there, go ahead and select it and click Save. So now we are set up to output to the saw, and the saw is set up correctly, so we can just now go File, New. All future imports are going to follow underneath the saw configurations that we had just set. So now let's take a look at the CSV file. The first section is not used, which I just have a placeholder there for labeled job. The second position is the quantity, how many of those we want. If we only want to have 3, 4, or let's say we want 5 of these that are 6 by 60. The next one is the value in the Y, the height of this on our screen, what this part is measured in the Y direction. This is the X direction. Then the next value is the material. What type of material should this be nested on? The next item is not really used. We'll get into that in future videos. Then we have the last item, which is going to be the part name. I'm going to name this 1, 2, 3, and then 4. We're going to save this, and notice that I have this one part here that is 60 by 30. So remember that first letter number is in the Y direction, so that part without rotation is not going to fit on our selected material in the Y direction, which is found under Tools, Settings, and we have 9648 material entered in here, so 60 is greater than 48, so that will not fit. So again, going to File, Open. We're looking for the Open that has the icon, folder icon, not the Open CSV. Open. Then use the drop-down box, the bottom right of the dialog, select Open CSV file, and select the CSV file that has our data, then Open. It does get us a message that this one part does not fit, so we're going to say OK. And now we have our nested sheets. It tells us that we need a total of 1 of 2 sheets. We're reviewing 1 of 2 sheets. You could use the slider bar to slide across. Once this is done, our next step is to come down and click Save Toolpaths. Going to give it a location. Let's call it Saw Test. Then Save. Once we are done saving, we go to the location where we saved the job. We're going to have a couple files. One, we have a do not fit CSV file. This is the file that contains all the parts that did not fit on our nested. The two important files that we need for the saw is the saw test labels and the saw test FDT file. We will then take those two files and copy those into our C drive, the Giben folder, the Giben XP, CNC, then we have a prod folder. Copy those two files in here, the Ryan FTD or the test FTD or whatever you've named it, along with the labels. Once you have done that, those and open up on the saw, those files will be available on the saw.